From Craig Rolson in Europe, David Gerber in Brazil, and our editor-in-chief and publisher, Don Oshman, it's time for this week's Sunday Night Week in Review.
Good evening or good morning, wherever you may be in the world. This is Don Oshman from HideNet.com. It's time for our HideNet weekly market report and review video. And as I said, I'm Don Oshman, editor-in-chief and publisher of HideNet Market Reports, which cover a wide array of industry news. There's no report from Europe this week because they're still on holiday, as is our Craig Rolson, our European editor. And he'll be back next week. We'll all be back. They'll be back next week. The Tanners will be back from Italy and so on and so forth. So Europe should start off with a bang, although everybody in Europe and everybody every place else, not everybody, a great deal of people will be traveling to Shanghai for the ACLE, which starts, I think, September 3rd. And we'll be there as well to report and tell you what's going on. Along that line, we won't be able to publish a report from Shanghai because it's illegal to use YouTube and send videos. But we'll try to send you a report just before we get there and just when it's over and we come back. Anyway, back to the market. North America this week, after weeks and weeks of steers advancing about $1 every week, this week they did not, with few exceptions. Some selections did go up, but not every one, but all were fully firm. And producers had less and less of normal seasonal weight hides to sell, especially in the case of heavy Texas steers. Volume was somewhat lower than one would expect, but again, everybody says who are selling hides were well forward sold. Theoretically, those tanners, those sellers, those traders who are on their way to the Far East or are already in the Far East, visiting their tanner customers, theoretically or reputedly have plenty of hides to sell. But some people say they don't. All this leads to what will happen this coming week and what will happen when everybody gets to Shanghai. Will supply increase? No. The kill is down. The kill this week was up 20,000 hides a week because of the upcoming Labor Day weekend where a lot of people buy meat and grill. But that should dissipate in the next week and will probably be slaughtered down to 575,000 again. And packers tell us, the biggest packers who are 85% of the slaughter tell us that we're going to see maybe 550,000 in the last quarter of the year because there just aren't the cattle. And in that vein, the cattle on feed report was down, placements were down for the quarter compared to last year, for the month rather, and marketings were down. And the cattle population is down, including Canadian cattle. We reported that as well. So less hides are coming into the pipeline and less hides are being slaughtered because they're just not there, not even regardless of packer profitability. So all that made for a very firm market. And this week, even the cow market firmed. It's been a long time since we could say that. In Latin America this week, David Holsh reports that the fresh green price went up because their slaughter is down, presumably temporarily because overall they expect an increase for the year. But meanwhile, slaughter's down at some of the most favored origins. And tanners who needed the product, a Brazilian tanner, for example, has to have enough raw, fresh hides to maintain its production, had to scramble, and they're competing more so than they had before, especially led by a few big players, which made the price of green go up. That resulted in tanners having to ask another 5 cents a kilo to try to recoup what they've had to pay for the green hides now. So bottom line, that market is very firm, and now prices are being asked as high as $2.05 a kilo. And of course, as the price has risen in North America and South America, buyer resistance has grown. But as somebody said, what are they going to do if they don't pay the price? They don't have their production going either. It's almost like the Brazilian tanners who have to pay what the packers demand. Everybody thinks now that the Asian tanners will have to pay what the Brazilian tanners charge them for wet blue and or crust, or they won't be able to continue their production. Also in South America this week, or all over the world, it is the largest automotive tanner. Eagle Ottawa is in play, has been in play, and looks like it's been sold to Lear, the largest automotive seating company in the world. They're having some final negotiations, some due diligence, but everybody expects that to close in the next few weeks. So Eagle Ottawa will have a brand new owner, and Lear will have a new supply of leather. All this bodes well for that industry and won't help the market going down. It could be a positive to make the market go up. That remains to be seen. But anyway, there'll be one less independent automotive tanner in the world today. That was the news. And also in Argentina, I almost forgot, that prices are strong there. Green hides and the Wet salted prices were up again. Everything's up in Argentina because of a lower supply and very good demand, especially for automotive. Automotive is the driving force in Latin America, for sure, but other people are trying to buy Latin American product as well because they think it's cheaper. Well, it is cheaper, but it doesn't quite make the same leather as, for example, North American steers. But there's a rocket for every pocket, as somebody used to say. In other words, there's plenty of demand, and everybody's trying to find something cheaper or substitutes, but so far, there's just not enough hides to meet the demand, which has made these prices reach now the same high levels we saw at the end of March and at the beginning of April when the Hong Kong leather fair closed. Anyhow, that's about it for tonight. One little commercial. Sign up for a free trial, HideNet.com. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can see for yourself how HideNet's information every week covering all of these markets will make you money. Next week, we'll talk to you probably from San Francisco on our way to Hong Kong, on our way to Shanghai, and then the following week when we return from Shanghai and give you the report on that fair. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.